Yes, no, I know. You want a job, Danielle?
What kind of
Oh,
job?
that's right, you may have a job.
Here's,
I mean, I have a
agenda.
job.
There you go.
Does it include mandated vacation?
Yeah.
The response was outrageous.
Yeah,
Very good turn.
yeah. So, did you hire somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we hired someone about a year ago.
December 11th, 2025.
We felt ill, so we didn't have anybody. So we had a person in oh my God, he completed the overqualification. It was a part-time job. I had HR people, I had all these people in his qualifications. So we went through them, but we figured we better have it towards the end, get fresh.
So that we're still interested.
They'll see it.
Yep.
Right. Hi, Jerry. How are you doing? Good, thanks. Just because Stephanie's leaving. Right? Stephanie's leaving.
We're on, right?
Too.
Christine, we're on.
Christine.
Yes.
I heard her say it was interesting. And Jerry, I-
Oh.
You're gonna have a lot of entities basically.
County attorney's out. Yes, my assessor.
Who is that?
Oh, God. My
Who's
daughter
that one
control
guy?
officer, she got a full-time job
Oh.
with benefits. First I hated her, but then I got her.
See you sneaking?
I know, first I said, you know.
What's that?
Yeah.
Sir, oh, it is. Never mind, I got it.
Is Brian on?
Yes, Brian.
And Jeff? Jeff, are you on the phone?
Just,
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, you're on?
deputy town clerk.
Okay.
Legislative aid, close the door.
Gave you presents. Oh, sorry. Good evening, welcome to the December 11th Pawling Joint Sewer Commission. Could you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing for the 2026 Pawling Joint Sewer Commission budget.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any public comment regarding our 2026 budget? Does any commissioner have anything that they want to talk about the budget?
No.
Christine, is there anything that you want to point out on the budget?
Yes, I just wanted to make sure everyone understands that we are transferring $133,000 from our wastewater treatment plant project number 2 expansion project account, and that's going to be moved into the O&M account to help cover and boost the fund balance that we really don't have.
Correct.
Because we are going to be using still, even with that being put into the budget, we're still going to be using $169,052 in fund balance.
Okay. Right.
I would like to say, you guys, I know you spent a lot of time on this, Christine and Mayor. And this budget's difficult.
Yes.
There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of unknowns, and, you know, I just know you guys did a lot of work on it, so thank you.
Thank you. I will say this is a very, very down to the bone budget. So there is not a lot of fat here, so let's hope that we have a easy year.
I'll go.
Let, okay.
I'll go. Kathy?
All right, so, any other comments before we close? Okay, so,
Just want to thank you, Christine,
thank you.
for all the work.
So I'll make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second, wait to see who was knocking.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You're right. Thank you, Steve.
I guess not.
Okay. Okay, all right, so hearing no other comments, we already did this, right? Well, she wasn't here. So I made a motion to close the public hearing on our budget. You seconded?
I believe John did.
John seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't see anywhere else on here where we now vote on it, so,
There's a resolution. Resolution.
right, I was just looking, okay. Do we do that now? I'm looking for another place where we, okay.
Yes, you can amend the agenda to include a motion or
Yeah, so
resolution to
now-
vote.
Right,
Absolutely.
Oh,
usually it's different when Jennifer, never mind. Okay, so the resolution for approving the budget is the next item in the packet. Now therefore be that the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission does hereby adopt the budget for 2026 fiscal year, attached here too, and I get a motion to approve the budget.
And also just to amend the agenda.
Oh, and to amend the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I think I made the motion. Did you
Yeah,
second?
second.
Thank you. I got
Did you
confused.
say?
I don't know. All right, so we motioned and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Phew, that was rough. Okay. All right, so can I, or I'll make a motion to open the public hearing regarding the sewer rate increase to the O&M only.
did we close the,
We closed.
We
made a
closed the
motion.
public hearing and now we voted on the budget.
I wasn't here for closing.
And for the record, Lori made the motion to amend and to move forward with the
Yeah.
resolution
Got it.
that we just passed, and Arthur second.
I got that.
Okay, so now I'm making a motion to open the public hearing for the sewer rate increase to the O&M.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Jeff, do you want to walk us through the
Sure, yep,
increase?
be glad to. It took quite a bit of effort to actually work with the very complicated rate schedule that we're dealing with. That's been around already for, I think since the commission was formed. But what happens is there were some changes made a while back where the town flows are computed and then the percentage of operation and maintenance that will be picked up by the town, that number is determined, and then the amount of operation and maintenance that the village pays is divided by the flows, and that comes up with a rate for village and town. And then what happens is you'll notice under the new rate increase, where in order to raise $1,200,000 that's in the budget, and that's been in the budget for a number of years, but that amount has not been historically raised because rates were too low, so that number was an inflated number as far as what rents were actually going to be. So in order to bring at least this year's budget in to raise the $1.2 million, we went through and we identified that the capital improvement charge is raising the funds we need to pay the debt service on the new plan. So that we verified that that is raising enough money so no changes have to be made to the capital side. It's just the operation and maintenance side that's not raising enough funds to cover the O&M expenses. So the $1.2 million will still not raise enough money to cover the operating expenses, but at least it will get and raise the $1.2 million that we need for this year's budget. But they're still appropriating fund balance, which is basically your profits over time, accrued over time. We're still allocating, like Christine said, about $169,000 of that fund balance. So that's basically, fund balance is basically your seed corn. That is the monies that are available throughout the year to meet your cash flow needs, because cash flow, depending on what month, you'll have more revenue outgo than you will for the amount of money that's more operating outflow than revenues coming in. So you need a fund balance to be able to smooth out and to make payroll and the rest throughout the year. What's happening is that has been diminished considerably over the last 7 years. And we're now getting to the point where we've got about 3 more years where we can keep appropriating fund balance before basically the commission will have to actually borrow for cash flow. We call it a revenue anticipation note, in order to make payroll throughout the years without some kind of a rate increase. So the rate increase that we computed we're going to need to bring the revenues collected from the sewer rents this year to $1.2 million is basically a 21% increase in the operation and maintenance side of that rate structure. So with the new formulas, you'll notice that smaller users, their bill would actually go down on the operation and maintenance side a little bit, and larger users will pay more. But overall, it's a 21% rate increase. I think what this will do is it would buy enough time this year to raise what was budgeted in fiscal year 26. And during fiscal year 26, I think the commission will have to focus on coming up with a rate structure that's more understandable to everyone, the users. Right now, Christine really can't, if somebody wants to know, how do you compute my bill, Christine would have to go through about a 10-minute spiel to let them get an idea of how the capital charge is made up and how the O&M charge is charged, and it's very complicated. So I think there are 2 things that the commission may want to look at, is simplifying the rate structure, and there was a proposed one that was circulated, I think it was like 2 years ago now, that was a start that the commission may want to look at. And what that found, that rate study found, was that the individual users were subsidizing the larger users under the current rate structure. So going forward, we may want to look at the equity and also the ability to simplify the way rates are computed. So it gives customers some confidence in how their bill is being computed. It can be conveyed to them in an easier way. So this rate increase proposed right now is sort of like a Band-Aid, but it starts eliminating the amount of fund balance that has to be appropriated each year. And we're starting to get to a level of at least meeting what's in the budget. But hopefully through 26, by using this updated structure, we can actually come up with a new rate structure, and we may have to do the rate increases in steps to give the customers some breaks as far as getting ready to adjust. But I think we've got about, by the end of 3 years, we have to be solvent, or unfortunately we're basically going to be in deficits, and you're going to have to borrow just to meet payroll.
Thank you, Jeff. I think once we get through this rate increase, I think the commission's going to want to have a discussion on putting a plan together, maybe possibly a 5-year plan where we're looking at a smaller percentage every year so people can absorb that. Unfortunately, the sewer rates have not been increased, as far as we know, since 2016. Yeah. So that's 10 years. Obviously, when we all hit COVID, we were talking about doing increases to water and sewer at that time, and when COVID hit, we set that aside for about 3 years for that. And then when we came out of that, the village and the town started negotiating for a new IMA and a new rate structure, and we just weren't able to accomplish that, so that delayed the rate increase. I have to say that it's been difficult to understand the formula, so that has been very trying in this process of finding anyone that could even understand the formula that's embedded into the IMA to figure out the rates. So that's taken some time as well. So that brings us to the here and now. Does any commissioner have anything that they want to say or questions they want to ask while Jeff's? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the philosophy that it would have been nice to do small increments. We all agree on that. It didn't happen, and here we are.
Yep.
You know, had we done small increases over those times, it wouldn't be at 20%.
Correct.
Nonetheless, we are here now, and as everybody knows, I mean, the cost of things. In 2017, we were budgeted for just electricity alone was $60,000. We're now at 190. So that's just
and that's
one
just
example.
one line item. Everyone,
Yeah.
Chemicals, labor, everything. Everything's gone up.
Operation costs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuel.
Parts,
Yeah. So I mean, it's unfortunate to hear that high number. Again, what people have to realize is it's just on their usage. It's not on the debt charge.
Right.
So when you have your total bill, it's not 20% of what your bill is. It's the 20% of that portion of the O&M.
Just O&M, and it's going to be based on your water usage. So if you're a high water user, you're going to see an increase. If you're a low water user, you're not going to see an increase, or you're going to see a small increase. And like Jeff said, some of the users are going to see a decrease in their bill. So, okay, so the public hearing is open. Is there any public comment regarding the rate increase? Okay.
Have we received any emails or any correspondence?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, hearing no comments, I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion to amend the agenda again to include the resolution to move forward with the rate increase.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then the rate increase resolution, there's a lot of there for it.
Second page.
Second page it starts and
At the
keeps
bottom.
going. All right, now therefore be resolved that the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission does hereby set the pro rata share of the total flow of the village at 75%, total flow of the town at 25%. Be it further resolved that the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission does hereby resolve to continue using the methodology previously adopted in 2020 for the calculation of assessments, rates, and surcharges. Be it further resolved that in order to rectify the financial deficit described above, the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission recommends that the village and the town respectively increase sewer rates by the margin of, and that is the 21% that we are putting in there, okay? And be it further resolved that the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission intends that the village and town respectfully ratify the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission's calculations of each municipality's pro rata share of the 2026 costs, acknowledge the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission's methodology for calculating the rates, and increase the rates apportioned and assessed upon users in each respective municipality in accord with the Pawling Joint Sewer Commission's recommendations. Do I have a motion to pass this resolution?
Want to do a roll call vote
Okay.
if
roll
the
call
motion
vote.
passes?
Commissioner Pitt is absent. James McCarthy,
Aye.
Commissioner Guzzo,
Aye.
Commissioner Pizzella,
To know for me.
Commissioner Berwager,
Aye.
Vice Chair Nicasio,
Aye?
and Chair Lori Taylor.
Aye. All right, hopefully everyone had the opportunity to read the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the November 13th minutes?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the November 2025 treasurer's report as presented?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the payment of the November 2025 vouchers as presented in the amount of $110,851.80. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of $110,851.80 from the O&M account to the checking account to pay the November 2025 vouchers. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Lori, do you want to let?
Oh, yeah, Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Thank you very much for tonight.
We're all set, sure thing.
I will let you go. And hope all is well.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Good night. Okay, I'll make a motion to transfer $133,000 from project number 2, wastewater treatment plant expansion bank account to O&M account.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, reference 8525. This is a quote from Z3 Consultants to repair and rebuild 3 backflow preventers at the wastewater treatment plant in the amount of $4,050. Anybody have any questions regarding this?
What's the necessity for this? We have an outage? Our part's not working?
Kenny, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, backflow preventers are in place to prevent any backflow into the potable water system in the event that there's a water break that's large enough to create a negative pressure in the main. And what it would do is actually any water that was there or whatever chemical was there would be dumped to the drain rather than being brought back into the water main and create.
But do we have failures? Right.
Well, the three of the units did not pass the test. So they have to be tested by health department standards annually. And you have to have a certified backflow preventer tester to come in and do it. They test them. The ones that fail need to be repaired.
So So all three can be repaired, or we're not sure they're being?
Yes, no, all three can be repaired.
Okay.
And we actually were able to get their price down by about, what was it, $700 or something like that, because we, they were gonna add a plumber journeyman to it, to the plumber, and we were like, well, we can help with that, so we were able to get the price down another $790 or something like that.
All right. You might as well just stay.
Okay, I can do that. I wore my comfortable sneakers tonight.
All right, any commissioner have any questions regarding this?
No?
Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Reference 8625, this is an estimate from Dan Owens to repair the plant water skid in the amount of $5,800. Do you want to speak to that, Kenny?
Yes, the water that we use in the treatment plant for hosing, running the belt filter press, any of the washing down of the fine screens is non-potable water, which is effluent from the treatment plant. There's a water skid that has 2 pumps that provide the pressure needed and the volume of water needed for that. And one of the pumps has burned up. So we took it out, well, it didn't burn up, it was making a lot of noise because it had gone airbound and it continued to run, and the shut-off or safety feature did not work. So the pump was making a lot of noise. We shut it off, took it offline, brought it for evaluation. It was evaluated by Gould's. It's a Gould's pump. They were able to, they said when it was airbound, it was noisy. Once they primed it, it ran fine, came up to pressure. So obviously we saved the pump by taking it offline. But what Dan is going to do is he's going to put in, he went into the panel, and there are safety features in there that are supposed to shut it down, but they don't work. So he came up with a way he's going to install another switch, a pressure switch, that once it falls below our required pressure of 65 pounds, if it drops below that for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it will then shut everything down, and thus preventing an issue like this again.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Kenny, I think you can have a little break.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. All right, so next on the agenda is the ASPCA. Is that your?
Yes,
This-
I'll
this-
start by apologizing for
this-
disrupting your meeting.
That's okay. This has been a long, long road. Glad that we're finally here. And Christine and I were able to go on your open house tour today. It's quite the facility,
Yeah, very proud of
very
it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So welcome to Pawling.
Thank you.
So I know that we had a lot of paperwork for this. I don't know if, Danielle, if you want to go through and,
Sure. I can sort of summarize where we've been,
yeah,
all the progress we've made, so thank you to the applicant getting everything over to us. We had to deal with a connection agreement. That connection agreement had certain requirements that needed to be fulfilled before we can actually have the connection period expire and approve the actual connection to the sewer system. So governmental approvals have been satisfied. We took a look at the actual connection agreement, and there's been an engineering certification letter provided to the commission for their review and the attorneys as well. There was a posted required performance and payment bonds that has been reviewed and looked at, and I believe we have a reduced bond amount and a town board resolution addressing that, so that's been satisfied. There is, under the connection agreement, there was an offer of dedication. It seemed duplicative with the purchase option that was provided. So there was the town implicitly waiving that dedication and moving forward with the purchase option. That's also been provided to us in the submission application packet. In addition, once, and this will be in the resolution that the chair has the privilege of reading into the record, or I can assist. I can assist. But as of the execution of that purchase option, it will be now the obligation of the commission to pay for and maintain all of those sewer improvements will now terminate, and that goes to the town now to take over. So that's also laid out in the resolution. And that deals with maintenance, repair, and capital costs. In addition, there is a resolution that the town actually intended to exercise the purchase option I just mentioned, and authorizing the supervisor to execute that option. The conditions for the purchase option agreement were satisfied pursuant to the terms of the connection agreement. We have that also here in the packet provided with the agenda. All other conditions of approval, again, provided by the ASPCA. In addition, makes sense, right? There's a sewer easement to round this off, and so the commission as well as the town would be co-grantees so that we can get in there if necessary to look at those improvements if something were to arise. Importantly, which was raised many times prior to tonight, and I believe the ASPCA is very aware of this, before the lights go on, before the connection is made, it's required that, and I believe the commission or the village will have someone present, Chair, that the pump and emptying of the septic system occur. So that way we're starting with a reading, we have a ticket, a receipt as to where we were and where we're going before the connection is made. Lastly, there were some insurance updates that need to be made. I don't know if those certificates made it their way, but they need to be here.
Yeah, I have
Wonderful.
them. Yeah, I have them. And I can also report that the easement agreement was redrafted after we received Danielle's comments to include the town explicitly. The town board last night adopted a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign.
Yes, we
So
have that resolution.
Great, okay, so
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt, I'm sorry. Can you just identify yourself,
No,
please?
yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I came in, you know, kind of anonymously, pounding on the door. It's Judd Siebert, Keenan Bean PC. I'm a partner of Jen Gray's, who has been here prior, and I represent the ASPCA. And James Karras, our engineering consultant from JMC, is here as well.
Great, thank you, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And really, to round this off, what the commission's here to do tonight is to authorize the signature on the easement, to move ahead with the approval of the connection, and also to authorize the chair to sign the notice of commencement letter, which reiterates the pump and other requirements, the insurance requirements that we just outlined. Does anyone have any questions? Anything I missed on the conditions? No.
No,
So we are going to ask to coordinate the pumping of the 2 tanks so that we can have our operator out there. They need to do the water meter reading, and then they will, once it's been pumped
Understood.
out, the certificate, then the valve will slowly open.
Right.
And after tonight, we will put in writing, you know, that it has been approved and to move forward with that. So
and if possible, I do have the original easement for signature and the TP 584. I don't know if it can be executed tonight or if I should leave it with you, Danielle.
I think it can be left so we can just take a glance over them. I mean, I trust that
Why
it's
don't
the
I do
same as
that?
in the packet, but we,
And I can leave the certificates with you as well.
perfect.
Great.
We can take a look at those.
So am I to begin reading this long document?
So I think did we have a motion to move forward with this resolution?
No.
Okay,
All right, so
so let's do that first.
I'll make a motion to move forward with approving the ASPCA connection.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Oh, so now we got to do roll call now. You want?
Oh, if you want, I don't,
Yeah, let's just go through, since it's set up, the resolution's set up that way.
You want, okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner Pitt is absent. Commissioner James McCarthy.
Aye.
Commissioner Guzzo.
Aye.
Commissioner Pizzella.
Aye.
Commissioner Berwager.
Aye.
Commissioner Locascio.
Aye.
Chairperson Lori Taylor.
Aye. So I don't need to read this? Or do I?
would you like me to read part of it?
Sure.
Okay, trade off for you for the last,
Yeah.
for the last paragraph, how about that? Okay, bear with me because it's a little lengthy.
It's lengthy.
Now therefore be it resolved that the PJSC hereby finds that the ASPCA has satisfied the requirements of the sewer system connection agreement required for commencement of the connection agreement pursuant to section 3 as follows. 1, pursuant to section 3.3.1, the ASPCA has completed the sewer improvements in accord with all applicable government approvals as described in Exhibit 2A. The Dutchess County Department of Health approval and the authorization to operate is annexed as Exhibit 3. 2, pursuant to section 3.3.2, the PJSC engineer has inspected the construction of the sewer improvements and determined that the improvements are constructed in accord with approved design plans and specifications. The engineering certification letter is annexed hereto as Exhibit 2A. 3, pursuant to section 3.3.3, the ASPCA has posted the required performance and payment bond by its contractors. The Town of Pawling Planning Board correspondence requesting a reduced bond amount and the Town Board resolution approving the reduction are annexed at Exhibit 2H. 4, the Town of Pawling has implicitly waived its right to an irrevocable offer of dedication with respect to the sewer improvements as described in section 3.3.4 by exercising its purchase option described herein. The ASPCA's executed offer of dedication is annexed, are we good? At Exhibit
We're just
2B.
not sure if it knocked. The camera's green, the lights are on, but she's not seeing it on. I just,
You want me to keep going or wait a minute?
thank you.
Okay.
You weren't kidding about keeping the lights on with the budget.
I don't exaggerate.
It's so windy today.
Can you usually pick it up sitting there? Because I know this room is difficult.
Okay, we're good.
Good.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Resume?
I needed a
A
breath.
little breather there, yeah.
5, pursuant to section 3.3.5, the ASPCA conferred upon the town an option to purchase the sewer improvements annexed at Exhibit 2E. The corresponding bill of sale is contained at Exhibit 2C. The PJSC acknowledges that upon execution of the purchase option by the town of Pawling pursuant to the connection agreement, the sewer connection period will terminate and the responsibility for all costs and expenses to operate and maintain the sewer improvements, including without limitation all maintenance, repair, and capital costs described at section 3.7, which were the responsibility of the PJSC during the connection period, will thereafter be the responsibility of the town of Pawling. 6, pursuant to section 3.3.6, the October 8th, 2025 resolution stating that the town's intent to exercise the purchase option and authorizing the supervisor to execute the purchase option is annexed at Exhibit 2F. The conditions contained, 7, the conditions contained at sections 3.3.7 through 3.3.9 are satisfied as terms included in the purchase option agreement contained at Exhibit 2E. 8, condition at section 3.3.10 to be addressed as a condition of approval below. 9, pursuant to section 5, the ASPCA delivered to the PJSC a sewer easement providing that the PJSC will, with access to the subject property for purposes relating to the exercise of the PJSC's rights and performance obligations. The ASPCA has added Town of Pawling as an additional grantee of the sewer easement. The easement agreement TP 584 forms are annexed at Exhibit 4, and as stated before, we have the originals to be provided to us tonight. Be it further resolved, upon the aforementioned findings, the PJSC authorizes the ASPCA to connect to the sewer system upon the satisfaction of the following conditions. 1, on the day connection is to be made, the ASPCA shall immediately prior to the connection of the subject property to the sewer system, pump and empty the septic tanks on the subject property. Evidence of the satisfaction of this condition shall be by provision of receipt / ticket to the PJSC. 2, prior to connection and pursuant to Section 3.3.10, certificates of general liability, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance will be provided by the ASPCA to the Pawling municipality as defined at Section 1.29, and with respect to the sewer improvements in a form and with coverage and policy limits which the PJSC determines acceptable. The ASPCA will name each Pawling municipality as additional insured as their interests may appear. Be it further resolved that the PJSC authorizes the Commission Chair to sign and deliver the notice of commencement of connection agreement to the ASPCA annexed hereto as Exhibit 5. Be it further resolved that the PJSC authorizes the Commission Chair to sign and execute the easement agreement and the TP 584 form annexed hereto at Exhibit 4. Be it further resolved that the PJSC, in accordance with Section 3.3.6 of the connection agreement and pursuant to the town's intent to exercise the purchase option, hereby exercises the purchase option and notifies the ASPCA of same. The ASPCA shall execute and deliver all documents and instruments required to effectuate and carry out the town's purchase of the sewer improvements.
Thank you, Danielle.
You are welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
We did the motion before.
Yeah, we
We did the motion before, I was just thinking that as well, so.
With the roll call vote. We kind of, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And then you're going to record
Yeah.
it? Perfect. Jennifer's attention?
Thank you.
All right, Danielle, do you have anything else, or?
I think you heard enough from me. No report.
Okay. All right. Brian, you have anything, I think you want to talk to us regarding the draft I&I report?
Yes. I'll try to move along here. So is there a copy attached, just the front end?
Yes, we have a copy.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, it's very exciting. Long story short, we tested the flow near, set the flow meters up near Sheridan, Greenlawn, Croton, and over at Trinity Pawling again this year, because last year was very dry. Well, this year was very dry too. So, it was just a very dry summer. The groundwork table was low. We didn't see much inflow anywhere. Obviously, not much infiltration as well. So, we did more toward the end of the year. You can see some, there were some flow spikes in the spring, which were, due to normal rain in the spring season, but even the spring was relatively dry after a point. We did capture a couple of blips in the fall. We got, that kind of wetter season around October, November time frame, but we were able to capture some flow, primarily from the Trinity Pawling, the East 22 quarter. That is an area that we do have a concern with, that there is a lot of leaks in those pipes on that side of the, the state route there. My recommendation is maybe next year, I talked to the mayor about this, but I'm thinking next year,
I'm going to reach out to DEC. Well, actually, I'll do it this year before next year. We'll submit this report if everybody's okay with it. You know, we got all the dependencies and everything. It's over 7,000 pages of all the data, so, you know, we're going to submit electronically to DEC. But we typically don't get much of a response. We get an acknowledgement. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know, you know, anybody's really even looking at this when we submit it. I think next year we shift gears. I'm going to try to get some answer from DEC approval. We've applied for an engineering planning grant to do like a comprehensive I&I study. You know, we have funds to get a camera in there, you know, do a real one. Then that report can be used to chase grant dollars. You know, you got to write them in a certain format for the EFC template. So we do like a real application for a grant to do a real I&I study and you know, try to actually get some dollars to do something, you know, capital-wise on this. Because I don't know how you guys feel, but I just feel like it's kind of just repetitive. We're doing these studies every year. We kind of know where the problems are. I'd like to, next year, if we actually get some rain sometime, some significant rain, but I'd like to go over on that east side of 22, pop some manholes. You know, if we see something really rushing in, we can run and grab a flow meter, throw it in there, and get some real data. We're going to have to probably talk to Trinity Pawling at some time, too, about, you know, addressing some of their leaks over there. But just doing this stuff every year, I just see it a little repetitive, and, you know, I just think the money could be used for better use.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian, and I believe we did submit a grant to try to do a better I&I study, and we were not successful with that, so I think we're just gonna try again.
Yeah. We'll reapply. Yeah, and then we'll reapply. Usually, you know, they may reject it a year or two, but unless there's some weird thing, they usually get it. And that's, just to refresh everybody's memory, you know, that's an 80-20 grant, right? 80% grant, 20% local match. They did do away with the MWE requirement, which helps too. So I just think, you know, we do something kind of more substantial. You know, like I said, just, you know, do something where we get the money to actually fix something. I just think it's kind of repetitive doing it this way, but you know, I work for you guys, so whatever you think.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Brian regarding the I&I study?
No.
All right, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
Kenny, you're up.
Exercise.
So I'd like you to walk us through the operator's report for the month of November.
Yep. We'll start with the front page, obviously, which shows that the facility met all of our compliance testing. We treated a total of 6,570,000 gallons through the month with an average flow of 219,000. You know, as the facility continues to operate well, but it does have its, it throws us a curveball every now and again. So I'll go through and some of the highlighted things that are like not part of the normal day-to-day operations. We already hit the one about the water pump skid, which is 11.5. We dropped that off to be evaluated. And then we have the SBR waste pumps that we have. There's a winch and a cable system to bring them up. Well, when we pulled SBR pump number 2, the winch locked up on us after we got it out and would not go back down. So we had to pull that off. We took it down to the workshop, took it apart. There's a little clutch mechanism in there. We had to go in, loosen it up, and got it operating again. So on 11.2, we pulled UV unit 1C, or the third unit, replaced lamps that were out, cleaned all the sleeves.
On 11.2?
11.13. Did I say 11.2? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm not seeing that.
It was 11.12. Okay. So that was completed. On the 13th, one of the heaters in the belt filter press room was not working. We evaluated it was a bad capacitor. So we were able to take care of that rather than having to call an electrician in to evaluate it and all that. That was one of the things we could do. We had some brush piles from taking down some trees and stuff out by the road, kind of make things look better, so we cleaned those up, got rid of that. On 11/17, remember last month we ordered a new submersible pump to have as a spare for the pump that was in the aerated holding tank because our normal aerated holding tank pumps are out for repair. Well, we had the meeting on, what, the 13th, I think it was, and that pump was approved to be purchased. Well, on the 17th, the one that we had in there died. And unfortunately, the pump hadn't arrived yet. And luckily, we have a good relationship with Rich Savarese, and the village does as well. He had a gas-powered trash pump for us to use. He loaned it to us. He did not charge. So that's a plus, thank God, amen to him, thank you. So that pump did not really do everything we needed. We tried installing SBR waste pump number 2 that we had pulled because we were doing all the maintenance on SBR 2 with Cook coming in to clean. The pump worked when we took it out. So we brought it down. We were going to install it in the aerated holding tank in place of the submersible that burned up. We put the new parts on it, wired it up, went to check for rotation, and would not run. It just hummed. And we're like, oh, you got to be kidding us. I mean, it worked. So we had to continue to try to use the trash pump, which didn't do what we really needed it to do. So luckily we had a spare pump in the greenhouse for one of the sewer pump stations. So it's a 6 horsepower, 3-inch pump. We were able to push it down to 2 inches with the parts that we had. And since we don't have any mechanical means of pulling a pump for that, because there really isn't a setup for it to put anything in and out of that aerated holding tank, we had to hook a chain and all that up to our truck and pull the truck far enough ahead where we could just get the pump hanging over the tank with weight. It's about a 400-pound pump. And we had to back the truck up, drop the pump in, and it was quite the...
MacGyver.
Yes, I would say it was quite the chore, but it's been working. We had to have Dan Owens come out on the 20th to actually wire it in because it's a 240-volt pump and the plant has 480 volts. So he had to put together a little control box. You had to buy a breaker, hook it up, and we've been running it manually with that at 240 volts. We haven't heard back yet about our aerated holding tank pumps, what the condition is of those, what the cost will be. So we'll be following up on that to see what that cost is. We pulled, again on the 19th, we pulled apart the sludge pump number 2, which is a pump that pumps to our belt filter press. We wanted to make sure it was in good condition. We checked the lobes, see if we needed to replace them. So general maintenance and everything was in good shape for that. We changed the oil on blower number 1 for the digester. We installed a new air filter, checked the belts are fine, and greased all the fittings. I kind of jumped ahead as I was explaining everything. On the 20th is when Dan came out and did all his work to get our pump station pump in there and working. On the 24th, Fred Cook was out on site. They did their cleaning of the SBR number 2. They started it, they finished it on the 25th, and they did a really good job. I mean, all the rags and everything that were in there are gone. So now we just, at some point, we'll have to get down in there once we
Yes,
can,
40-foot ladder.
yep, and then do the rest of the maintenance that we need to do. But actually, the Cook guys, while they were there on the 25th finishing up, on our decant arms, there's some air reliefs on it, and those were bad. So we've ordered some to replace on all 3 of the SBRs as we do them. They were down in the tank. They removed the old ones for us and put the new ones in. So that was nice of them. So that was part of our maintenance that we'd have to do. So that's done. And that was it for the month. But since the end of the month to now, we had some other issues come up. We had an alarm call out for the Hillview pump station for a high level. We got out. We get out there, pumps are fine. The wet well level is fine. We looked down there to see if there was any evidence of a high water level. There was nothing. So there was an alarm malfunction. We reached out to Doyle, or actually Rich reached out to Doyle twice, and they're like, we received the alarm. We don't know why it sent out an alarm like that, but we haven't had an issue since. But, we did go out and check it. And then on the 7th, this past Sunday, when our operator was doing his rounds, he noticed that at the West Main pump station, the pump hours had more than doubled, I believe. So he called Rich, alerting him to the fact. Rich came out to look at it, did an amp reading on it. Amps were reading fine. So we're thinking everything's pumping fine, the level's coming up, so we're thinking maybe there's a leak somewhere. So it was Eric you had come in? So Eric came in to help Rich to open up a manhole at an intersection to provide some, safety. We went in, there was an abandoned house that was unlocked. We spoke with, okay. Anyway, we looked for leaks. We did not find any. So the following day, we go out and, we're doing some more investigation, and we went to where the force main discharges into the manhole upstream from it. And we're running the pump, and it might have been trickling out at about 10 gallons a minute, where it should be running at about 100 gallons a minute. So we figured it's got to be plugged to some degree. So we went back down and turned the pumps on and lifted the check valves, shut the pumps off, and back flushed the line into the pump station. We had to do that twice. Turned it back on, and it's been operating fine. So it'll be something that we're going to check on a maybe monthly basis, something like that, just to make sure that the pump hours and the flow is correct. So we'll be able to keep an eye on, whether the gallons per minute are dropping off or not. Don't know why it really happened, what caused it, but
And which pump station was that?
the West Main,
West Main.
yeah.
Which is a force main.
Right. A force main should not, right. The volume of water that goes through a force main, Brian can talk to that as the engineer. It's usually designed to scour the line with one pump running and remove all the debris as it's pumping. Why it plugged up, don't know. And then today, we noticed that Croton pump station, pump number 1 got all the hour run time. Pump number 2 had none. So we shut the pump station off, pump number 1, because it wasn't alternating. So we wanted to make sure pump number 2 would run. We ran it in hand, it ran. So we wanted to make sure that in a lag situation, let's say pump 1 fails, usually these pump stations run in a lead lag situation, and then they'll alternate back and forth with the lag pump coming on if the lead pump trips out or cannot keep up with the flow. So we shut pump 1 off, let the pump station fill to a lag condition, pump 2 came on. So right now, the only thing we don't have is alternation. So Dan Owens, we had Dan Owens come out, take a look at it today. Unfortunately, there are no schematics in the pump station. There's no name tag or anything in there. And the HMI, which is the little screen that you use, and it's like the kind of the brains of it, is not working well. He said you can see about 60% of it. And he thinks that's where the alternating mechanism is. So he's going to have to come back. He said when it warms up a little bit, because he said trying to do that out in the freezing cold, you know, your fingers go numb and you just, because he needs to track down where all the circuits go. Oh, yeah, no. He will put something together. But right now, he doesn't know what is needed. So he'll have to come out, really kind of take a look to see what's going to be needed in order to give us a proposal. But in the interim, so we're not running constantly just on pump 1. What we're going to do is during the day while we're on site, we will shut pump 1 off and let pump 2 run in the lag situation. The pump station will run just a little bit higher, but it'll go on and off. And this way we're not just, you know, putting all the work on number 1. And let's see, we installed all mouse traps on top of the mouse proofing we did with the generators, and we actually caught some more mice. Surprise, surprise. But at least we're getting them, and they're not being able to nest in there and create an issue.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have
Any questions?
All right, thank you, Ken. Does any commissioner have anything else for tonight?
Nope.
Any visitors have anything tonight? All right, hearing none, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brian. Have a good night.